Can I ride every roller coaster at Universal in one day? Will I make it? Will I throw up? Will I die? I don't know. But we're gonna start off with the biggest and best roller coaster here in Universal. Follow me and let's go. And here we are, the roller coaster. Listen, I understand. But this is technically a roller coaster, so this is the one we're gonna start with. It's only got like a 5-minute wait. I think it's gonna be a walk-on, essentially. Look at it go. So now that we got that super intense roller coaster out of the way, it's time to move on to something more subtle, like Gringotts. All right, so next up on our checklist is gonna be Escape from Gringotts. It says the wait time right now is 25 minutes. I'm gonna be hopping into the single rider line, so we'll see how long it actually takes to get on this ride. All right, so before I get in line, I have to go find a locker to put my stuff in. So let's hurry up and do that so I can get on this ride. There's like nobody in here.
A wild card effect, recent surgeries, those prone to dizziness or motion sickness, or those who have any other conditions that may be aggravated by this experience.
So now that I just got off of Gringotts, that was actually the first time I ever rode it because it's normally a crazy wait. I got in the single rider line and it was a walk-on. There was nobody in the hallway. You guys should have seen the clips from that. As for a roller coaster, mid, very mid. It's an indoor roller coaster, so obviously there's not gonna be like crazy drops or all these crazy things. But you stop and go a lot. You go a couple feet and then you stop to watch this movie clip and then you go a couple feet, ride spins around or whatever. So if you're a roller coaster like connoisseur, don't waste your time. But if you're kind of scared of roller coasters, this one's very tame.
All right, so I am also here too. I'm just a dedicated bagman and cameraman today.
Yeah, he's the pack mule.
That's my role today. Thing is, I looked at the app. Kind of crazy. Somehow Hagrid's is only like 60 minutes. So, and Gringotts was, you literally just walked on single riders.
Yeah, it was essentially a walk-on. There was nobody in line. But I mean, it's weird to think. It is a Sunday, but we're in the middle of June. So it's a little weird.
The past couple times we've come, because we usually come on Sundays, just because it's the easiest day for us to come here. It's been dead. Like the last Sunday we came, everything was a walk-on. Spider-Man,
really
King Kong, Velocicoaster was like 20 minutes. Like everything was very, very quick.
It was.
But
like,
today, if you can get on Hagrid's and it's under an hour, that would be crazy. I was like, we could probably get all these roller coasters done today, but now I'm like, you're gonna get them done before like
dinner time.
Yeah.
I mean, because this is supposed to be a challenge.
I know. We should have showed up later. We showed up at like noon because I was like, I feel like we could hopefully do it in that time without rope dropping Hagrid's, but
I think we'll be good.
Yeah,
I'm very confident.
I think you'll be able to do these rides twice in one day at this point. And this is not including Epic.
Yes.
We could try that another day where we do like everything.
This is only
Studios and
Studios
Adventures.
and Islands of Adventure.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we're gonna try and get the rest of these done. We've already gotten 2 done. You have 8 total.
8 total.
So I already got 6 left, and it's
Check
only
'em
been
off.
like half an hour. So pretty good progress.
All right, so now we're on to the third roller coaster of the day, Revenge of the Mummy. It's supposed to be a 25-minute wait. Again, I'm hopping in the single rider line, so I'm not exactly sure how long this will be. But let's go ahead and get on this ride.
If I don't hear one, I think I might blow a gasket. And it's not a pretty sight.
Zoltar, tell me my fortune. Am I going to get to ride all these rides today? All right, so I just got off of the Revenge of the Mummy. I really like that one. I think this one is better than the Gringotts indoor ride. I think my favorite part is towards the beginning. You're at a screen and then you go backwards really fast, and then you're on a turntable and you turn around. I thought that was pretty cool. But I feel like this one was more intense than the Gringotts ride. You're not constantly stopping to watch like a 10-second movie clip. But speaking of movie clips, I love at the end, there's a clip of Brendan Fraser. He's like, oh, I hope you guys enjoyed the ride. Just like how I would have enjoyed this interview a lot more if I had my coffee. And he's like screaming. But then you see a mummy hand him a cup of coffee. And he's like, oh, finally, thanks. And he looks up and there's the mummy and he like starts screaming like terrified and it cuts. I love that part. That was so funny. But we have one more ride left in the studio section, which is Rip Ride Rocket. All right, so we are finishing studio section with Rip Ride Rocket. We're about to go down. That's gonna be me in hopefully like 5-10 minutes. I'm very excited. This will be my first time riding Rip Ride Rocket. Well, let's hurry up and go get in line. All right, well, I did forget to mention that it is supposed to be only a 15-minute wait for the main line, so I really think this one's also gonna be a walk-on for the single rider. So far, I haven't had to wait for any rides except for the Trolls ride. That was the longest wait so far. So let's go ahead and get in. All right, so I just got done riding the Rip Ride Rocket, and I have a secret to tell you guys. I had my eyes closed during the entire incline. You go literally a 90-degree angle. There's no like slight gradual. It's literally, you get on the roller coaster and it goes, shoop. I had my eyes closed the whole time until I felt the drop and then I opened them. But that was really cool. There were like times where like you stop at like the platforms and it's like a little jerky, but this one's definitely the best roller coaster in studios. Look at them go. See, like that's where you like kind of jolt stop and then it pushes you forward. But that was really cool. You do get to pick a song and they record a video of you the entire time. So once you get off the ride, you can go find your little picture and watch the whole video of you riding the ride. So that was pretty cool, really unique, especially for the video part. But yeah, it's gonna be sad whenever this leaves. This is my first time riding Rip Ride Rocket and it's gonna be gone soon. All right, but with Rip Ride Rocket, that checks marks all the rides in studios, and that is our halfway points for our goal for today. And with this being the farewell tour of Rip Ride Rocket, of course, I gotta pick up a magnet. Look, it even says farewell tour of 2025. This will be really cool. $14.
So I'm really hoping that Lissa does this because her prize is me getting a butterbeer.
Wait, what?
That's what the prize is for finishing. We're finishing the goal today.
Is that you get a butterbeer?
Yeah, I get a butterbeer. You didn't know that? That
am
was
I
in the
doing
fine
this?
print. That was in the fine print. You should have read it. That's
I
not my
didn't
fault.
sign anything.
You should have read it.
Nope. All right, so we're making really good progress. We started this at what, like 12 o'clock? What time did we get here?
12.
12, okay. It is currently
2? No.
1:40. 1:40.
Right,
So-
one part done.
Yeah, one park done in like an hour and a half.
Which I guess isn't too great because, again, this is the park that has two of the craziest roller coasters in terms of time. So
Yeah, but at least, you know, we got one park completely done, so now we have the rest of the day to get through this other one.
And I'm rooting for you because I want that butterbeer.
But we decided to take a snack break before I continue on. So I
Got
got
a
my
little Coke Zero because we need a little carbonation in our system.
Yeah, fuel me up with protein bar.
Healthy.
Healthy. All right, so we're starting off strong here in Islands of Adventure. I'm going to be riding the Hulk, which is this big green coaster behind us. Again, this is going to be my first time riding this ride, but I am super excited. I think the wait time is 25 minutes, but again, I'm going to be getting into the single rider line, so I'm not sure if this one's also going to end up being a walk-on or if I'm going to have to stand and wait a little bit longer. So I'm going to go get on there and see what it's like. Now that ride was pretty cool. I really liked that one. I got in the single rider line and this one was literally a walk-on. Like there was nobody in front of me and I actually didn't even stop moving. I walked up and the guy's like, go stand over there, and I was on the ride. So it took me longer to walk to the ride than actually waiting for it. But I really liked it. I really liked the start. It kind of made me think of ROLLERCOASTER, where it's like a charge up and then it shoots you off. Pretty cool. I mean, look, there they go. That was sick. But yeah, if you're somebody that gets like sick from like turning or looping, don't ride this one. Don't ride this one. You are constantly going upside down, spinning around, and going through these loops. This one was really cool. I like this one more than like all the other coasters at the studios one. So that was a really strong start for Islands of Adventure. But that's another one on our checklist, and we have 3 more to go. So we've made it to the Harry Potter section. In this section there are 2 roller coasters. There's the Hippogriff one, and then there is the Hagrid's ride. Neither one of these have single rider lines, so I'm gonna have to wait the longest in these ones. But I'm ready to go ahead and get in line for the first one and then see how long the Hagrid's line is supposed to be.
Beware! The forest in the grounds is forbidden.
Once let one of my students ride a hippogriff, and he did a great job. But the next student didn't follow the proper procedure. He insulted me. Figure it would be safer to teach you. Now, I come back.
Woo! So I just got done riding this ride. It's a little bit more intense than the Trolls one, but I liked it. It was cute. It was short. It's a little faster than what I thought it was going to be. But I also really liked the Hippogriff animatronic that they have at the beginning of the ride. That's pretty cool and really detailed. But now that we're done with this one, it's time to handle the big boy wait time, the Hagrid's ride. So let's go ahead and move on to that. We've moved on to the Hagrid's ride. I'm super excited. I've never ridden this one, and you can't really see this ride from anywhere in the park. But I'm also excited because there's still a sign for the single riders. So let's hope and pray that there is a single rider's line, because it says right now the wait is 80 minutes. So I'm gonna have to put myself in the lockers There is no metal detector, so I'll try and take some clips of what the line looks like so you guys can see it. But might as well go hop in this line before it gets any longer.
And while she's in this line, I'm going to sit in the pass holder lounge because it's nice and air
he gets to
conditioned.
enjoy the air conditioning.
Yeah, that's where I'm going.
So I just got done doing the Hagrid's ride. Oh, that was so cool. It said the wait time was 80 minutes. And then whenever I got in line, the guy said that there was no single rider line anymore. So I went to the general line. And right before you go to the castle, there's a side line. And they had a woman standing there. And it was a single rider lane. So she let me go in. I only waited 25 minutes instead of 80 minutes. So that saved a whole bunch of time. You do skip pretty much the entire castle for the single rider line, but the 25-minute was totally worth it. I loved the drop. I loved going backwards. I love Harry Potter, so it was super cool seeing all these magical animals that I've seen in the games and in the movies and in the books. So definitely worth it. So I can see why this has a really long wait time. This one is probably my favorite ride so far today. But we're gonna be following it up lastly with ROLLERCOASTER. So that'll be super cool, and we're gonna probably start heading over to it now. I'm not sure what the wait time is, but we'll see whenever we get there. So the sign says 25 minutes for ROLLERCOASTer. I'm gonna be getting back into the single rider line. Single rider line has been the GOAT today, okay? It has been less than half the time. It really came in handy for the Hagrid's ride. So I'm excited to do this one. I really like ROLLERCOASTer. This is probably the most intense roller coaster in Universal. Between this one and the Hagrid's has better scenes. This one is if you like roller coasters, do this one for sure. One other thing I wanted to mention, shout out to the lady that was with me on the Hagrid's ride because she airdropped me the photo from the ride. So we're gonna put that up now so you can see what it looks like. But I'm excited to do this. We're gonna be checking off our list today. So I'm gonna go ahead and get in line and finish us off. All right, so I just got off of the ROLLERCOASTer ride. That one is probably my favorite one out of all the rides in both of the parks. It was a good one to finish off with. I really, really like the charge up and you shoot off, and then you get 2 of those on the ride. I also really like how close it is to the water over here, and then also in front of the gates up at the front of the park, or the front of the Jurassic Park. After that, that concludes our list of all the roller coasters at Universal. I started this challenge at noon. It is currently 4:30, and we did take a little break between the parks. So I was able to get it done in 4 hours. I'm honestly surprised. Especially with the Hagrid's ride, I thought it would be a lot longer of a wait. But the single rider line came in clutch today and really shortened everything. But yeah, this challenge was a success. And
now I get my butterbeer.
Yes, Adam gets his butterbeer. Woo! Woohoo! Aren't you so excited that you get the prize? Yeah, so now Adam, I guess, gets his prize for being the best pack meal for today.
I do.
So that's going to conclude it for today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.